Echoes of the Lost, Episode 4, The Architects of Renewal. When the storms subsided and the fires cooled, humankind began again, stone by stone, measure by measure. Yet something in the rebuilding whispered of memory, not invention. Across the recovering world, geometry returned before language, proportion before politics. It was as if the echo of the lost age guided the new masons by instinct. In Egypt, the temple builders of the new kingdom revived ratios identical to those found in far older ruins beneath the sand. The temple of Luxor mirrors alignments seen in forgotten cities of the Sahara that once flourished on the old riverbeds mapped centuries later by Buache in Piri-Reis. In Mesopotamia, ziggurats rose again, not merely as monuments but as instruments of balance tuned to magnetism and flow. Far west, the mound cultures of North Amaruca mirrored the same celestial mathematics, embedding solar and lunar alignments into the earth itself. From these scattered efforts emerged a lineage of keepers, surveyors, architects, and philosophers who preserved what fragments survived. The Greeks would call them the Technitae, the Romans their Collegia Fabrorum, the medieval world their guilds of masons. Each generation built upon encoded memory, crafting cathedrals and fortresses whose proportions whispered of resonance and equilibrium. Beneath their artistry hid the remnants of a science that saw matter as alive. Geopolymers that could bind limestone like clay, mortars that hardened through electrical charge rather than heat. Dr. Joseph Davidovitz's modern rediscovery hints at this. Proof that stone could be cast, not carved. The ancients mixed water, ash, calcium, and magnetite into living composites, their formulas echoing alchemical principles later rephrased in the cryptic texts of Hermes Trismegistus. The Renaissance alchemists spoke of solvi coagula, to dissolve and recombine matter. Behind the veil of mysticism lay instructions for manipulating plasma, electricity, and mineral bonds. Alchemy was chemistry sung in metaphor, its fire not merely symbolic but literal, the harnessing of magnetism, pressure, and resonance to transform the elements. This hidden art powered cranes moved by water, lathes driven by flow, saws that slice granite with precision unmatched until modern times. Energy was drawn from the living field of earth itself, a silent current known to those who mapped the ley lines, the very same grid traced by temples, obelisks, and megaliths across all continents. But with each rebirth, secrecy grew. Knowledge became hierarchy. The guilds evolved into brotherhoods, orders, and finally into organizations that controlled access to the ancient sciences for power and protection. The Tyrannesian Masons, the Templars, and later the Rosicrucians each guarded fragments of a single philosophy, that geometry, energy, and consciousness are one continuum. The symbols they left, compass and square, rose and cross, are not mere emblems, but instructions, disguised as art. Through centuries of suppression and reinvention, the pulse of that older world continued beneath cathedrals, lodges, and libraries. Even the catacombs of Paris echo with blueprints carved into their walls, perfect ratios, arcane measurements, and sketches of devices that appear less devotional than electrical. The architects of renewal were not dreamers. They were rebuilders operating on the memory of catastrophe. They sought to restore equilibrium, to retune the Earth's field, and to raise structures that could once again harmonize human life with planetary energy. Yet, as before, the knowledge divided. Some used it to heal, others to control. Power shifted from the hands of the masons to the thrones of kings, and sacred science became state property. Still, within every cornerstone lies a message. The hum beneath the stone, the precise geometry of a vault, the spark that dances along a golden ratio. These are the signatures of those who remembered. The world we walk today is their manuscript, written in mortar and magnetism. Every arch, every measured angle, every whisper of resonance is a line from a language almost forgotten. A promise that the old equilibrium could be found again. For in the rhythm of rebuilding lies the heartbeat of the earth itself, still echoing with the pulse of those first architects of renewal.